What's up, YouTube? This is Jason from Team Night, right? Coming back at you guys with another deck profile. So this one's going to be on the Clan Selection Volume 1, and it's going to be Gold Paladin, specifically Spectral Duke. So if you guys haven't watched the other video I have up with me going against Tachikaze, I'll have the link down below to see. So today I'm just going to discuss why I chose some of the cards I chose. And here we go. So first of all, you gotta have a starter, and I like him a lot better because he's the original Christian Land fine. So, and for my trigger lineup, I'm playing. Of course, you gotta be playing the 4 heals. 4 heals. Oops, 4 of them. You gotta be playing 4 draws, which is Crit Sentinels. I like them a little bit better because instead of the Crit Sentinels we have, because right now every deck is hitting for really big high numbers, and you need something that's going to be able to stop them from dealing damage to as much as possible. The Crit Sentinels do have like 30k shields, but I feel like having the PG is a lot bit better, because if they do hit big numbers, you know at least you're safe and not having to drop so much cards in hand just to guard. So, and then I'm also playing 5 fronts in this deck. The reason why I'm playing fronts in this deck, besides criticals with this deck, is because I feel like the fronts are a lot better, because Excel decks are still, they still have the problem of if your opponent hits triggers, most of your other units are not going to be hitting. And with the front, instead of having to deal with, oh look, I only got one, I got a trigger, now I can have to put on one of my units and the other units not hitting. This already spreads it out through all the front rows, so that at least I know any unit that's on board have a potential of hitting. So 5 of them. And I'm also playing 3 crits. Oh, why not? Because I was thinking about just playing all fronts, but I feel like the crits are still good because you don't want to be sitting there too long. And if your opponent knows you're only playing fronts, they're more likely going to take a lot of attacks instead of just guarding. Alright, so the grade ones I'm playing in the deck. The first one I'm going to be discussing is one of the clan selection cards. It is pretty much a way to start your chain ride. And Scout Darkness of Valmerio. So what he does is, when he's placed, you can on Vanguard, you can look up top 7 cards for the grade 2 or the grade 3 Spectral Duke. And then on rear guard, he has the ability, once he's retired, he goes into slow and gives the Vanguard 5,000 power. So he's really good, being able to search out the right card you need. The next grade one I'm playing in the deck, this is a grade 3 searcher. I think it has to be played in this deck because you do need to get your Spectral Duke as soon as possible, and that's one way to get around there. He's pretty much, when you place him on Vanguard Rearguard, you get to look up top 5 card of your deck, reveal a grade 3, and then discard a card. And the other ability, which is very easy to get to, if you have 2 or more, if you call 2 or more Rearguard this turn, you get plus 5,000. So that's pretty easy to get to because it's gold. So the next card I'm playing in the deck, so this is another way to get a little bit of power in the deck. It came in the clan selection. It's pretty much a reprint. So its ability is continuous. One of your rear guards in the same column that this unit is placed this turn, you get plus 5,000. And if you have the advance of the black chain on Vanguard or Rearguard, this unit gets plus 10,000 instead. So it's another way to get a little more power. So why not? So alright, so we're going down to the grade 2s. So for the grade 2s, the first one I'm gonna be talking about. This is another one from the Clans selection cards that came with Spectral Duke. So his ability is, for you those who don't know, so on Vanguard or Rearguard, if you have a Scout of Black, Velma, and Soul, which is the grade 2 in Soul, it gives this unit gets plus 1,000. So pretty much this deck, it's pretty much a force. It builds itself up to become a force deck. That's pretty much an Excel deck. So, and its other ability is, when he's placed, when he's retired by a card effect, you put this card into slow and counter charge. So you can also get some refund back for your counterblast that you just used. And also the good part about this, the third part about it that's really good, if he's on Vanguard, when you ride on top of them with Spectral Duke, you get to look up top 5 cards of your deck. And then you can call up to 2 units from them to rear guard. So pretty much it helps you start building up what goals are supposed to do, which is superior call. So that's really good that he does that. So I played, he has to play 4 of them. And the other card I'm playing, it's 4 of the Advanced Black of Cullis. So when he's placed, you can discard a card from your hand. You get to look up top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can call 1 card from among them to rear guard and shuffle your deck. And if you call in, you have the grade 1, which is this guy out. You get to draw a card. So it gives you discard a card and you still refund it back by drawing a card if you have the grade 1 out. So why not? And it helps you do superior call what the deck wants to be doing. So the next card I'm playing, and I think everybody should be playing, is pretty much gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be staples in any Gold Paladin deck, whether it's budget or competitive. And it's Author Liberator Alcovos. So what he does is on Vanguard, when he's placed, you can Count Blast 1. You get to look up top 3 cards of your deck and call any card from among them to rear guard, and then you put the rest of them in bottom in any order. So that's pretty good because now you have a other way. If you don't get the grade 2, you have another unit that can start superior calling for you. So that you should start building rear guards, building up units on board so that you can, when you get to Spectral Duke, you have cards on board to utilize his effect with. And the second part about him that's also good on rear guard, when he attacks, you can send one of your rear guards to Soul, and he gets plus 10,000. So on Excel 1, he's at 29 if he does a skill. If he's on Excel 2, he's a 24k B6. So he's another way to be able to get more attacks and not worry about, oh, look, my opponent just hit a trigger. This unit's not going to hit. He's always going to somewhat hit, even if you don't have a trigger on it. Unless your opponent hit 3 triggers and sack you, then that's a little bit different. But if you do hit triggers on top of it, you can make it a lot bigger. And the other part that's good about him also, after he attacks, and if you activate that skill that turn, he bounces back to your hand. So he gets refunds itself. So it also stops you, bounces itself back to your hand, so that if you're facing any deck that retires or binds, he just can't become a target because he's gonna go back to your hand. All right. And the other card I'm playing for the grade 3 lineup, and this might change a little bit, I'm not sure yet, I'm still debating on it. You gotta play the Bluish Flame Percival. So this card I think is really also good in any budget or competitive Go Paladin deck because this card is very strong for what it does. So what it does is, the first skill it has is on Continuous Vanguard. All units on the Excel marker gets plus 5,000. So anything that's on the Excel circle automatically gets 5,000 continuously. So he gives you the ability to power up some of your Excel cards a little bit more. The second skill that makes him also good is you can counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand. If your opponent's at grade 3 or greater, you get an Excel marker, either 1 or 2, depending which one you chose. And then from there, it also switches from drop zone or field, from drop zone or deck for its mate, which is the grade 2, which is this dude. So I think this card is really good because it helps you also be able to not get screwed when you don't get to re-ride, because you know how this fee premium is. You have to keep re-riding to keep getting markers so you can build up advantage. If you do miss your ride, if you have this guy on board in your hand, he's good on you can call him on rear guard or on Vanguard, depending which one you want, and it still gives you the Excel markers that you need just to build up board. And if you're on Excel 2, you get to draw cards when you discard the cards, so it pretty much evens itself out. So I think it's really good to have in deck. So I'm still debating. I might bring him down to 3. Just I'm not sure yet. But let me know down in the comment below what you guys think. The next card I'm playing in the deck, and this is the Man of the Hour, or Dragon of the Hour, Spectral Duke Dragon. So, for those who don't know what this card does, it came in the clan selection. It's pretty much a Force Excel deck that is an Excel deck. It's a Force Excel card that's pretty much an Excel. So it's a 13k body when you have the grade 2 in Soul, which is the... Oops, give me a second. Which is this guy. If he's in Soul, he's automatically a 13k body continuously. And also, if your opponent's at grade 3 or greater, he also has critical. So during your turn and your opponent's turn, he's always a 13k body and deals an extra damage. So he's really good. And the other ability that makes him also good is at the end of turn, he attack. At the end of battle, he attacked. You can counter blast one, retire three of your rear guards, and then he stands up. And if you're and if you have 4 damage, instead of it losing one drive check, it gains one. So pretty much, if you have 4 damage, he's automatically swinging once with triple drive. I mean, with twin drive. And next time he swings again, instead of losing drive check, he gets an additional drive check. So pretty much, you're plussing 5 cards in hand. So just by losing 3 cards, you're getting them back because with the triple drive, literally giving you those cards back. Um, so what I think of this deck is really strong, and you can literally go any way you want with this deck. You could play with some other Go Paladin decks. Like you can add Sagamore to this deck just because this deck does build a lot of soul. And if you want a way to remove the soul and get some value off of it, you can play Sagamore. You can play any cards in gold and V premium that we have so far that can soul blast and get value. So my thought process of this deck was to build as much board as I possibly can because you know how it is. If you're deck thinning, you're deck winning. So the more cards your superior card from your deck, the more likely you will thin out your deck enough so that you'll be hitting a lot more triggers and be able to keep pressure on your opponent and not feel like you're blowing all your field out.
What?
So